Hello, this is Emmy the Neet. It's been a year since the fire, and apart from the PTSD, nightmares, and the smell of cigarette smoke immediately sending me into a panic, I'm doing well after the incident that burned down my entire house and destroyed everything I owned. Um, Sorry about the lighting. It looks like the gates of heaven are opening behind me, and it's probably going to be hard to even make out the burns I'm complaining about, considering I have the complexion of an Irish baby. But I am too cheap to buy nice lights. I can guarantee you can see my yellow teeth, though, against my pale ass skin. That's just what happens when you turn 30. Your teeth start to go yellow, even if you never smoked. This is green tea, by the way. Anyway, so last year on Friday the 13th, my house burned down because Tammy, my mom, dropped a cigarette in the living room and whoosh! Everything burst into flames because it turns out my house was made of paper mache. I got third degree burns on 25% of my body, and I was in a coma until like November 10th ish, I want to say. The time in the hospital is very shaky. I was gone for a long time. One of my friends, Ray, was super concerned and researched me. Apparently, the fire was in the news in my city, so he was able to find out that I was alive, so that was really cool of one of my friends to do. Especially considering in the hierarchy of my online friends, I wouldn't have considered him to do that. I was a little bit disappointed that my other friends were just like, "Oh, we just thought you were depressed or something and needed space." It's like I consider, and the one friend was like, "I was worried you were actually dead because you didn't contact me." That actually just makes me feel extremely bad because I've had people who have stopped contacting me, and in my head, I'm always like, well, they're too busy, or they don't like me anymore. I've never had the thought, OMG, they could actually be dead. Then again, most of my online friends, I do not know their first and last name. I have two friends named Ray, and I basically call them Ray the White and Ray the Black. That's how I tell them apart. Don't ask me why I chose those nicknames. Anyway, so I was burned 25% of my body, and I was put in a medically induced coma, to get all of the skin grafted back onto the places that were severely burnt. My left arm being one of the worst parts. Left hand is still a little difficult to use. My pinky's not the most cooperative. I have a full ability to use my right hand, which I'm happy for. It's not as bad as the left arm. Once again, I don't really have that the beauty lamp that you see influencers using. I usually just use natural lighting when I make these videos. Like, one thing I'm relieved about is you probably can't see that my eyebrows are terribly in need of help. Oh man, I didn't check my mustache before. Okay, raise your hand if you're female and you shave your mustache because waxing hurts and costs like $8 if you're going to go down to the salon. I always figured, okay, so I got my mom's Irish skin, but my dad's kind of Native American European mix. And when I say Native American, the southern, a little bit of Hispanic too. He kind of looks like Kevin Smith and Machete if they Dragon Ball Fusion danced and combined. So he's got really thick black hair and just completely covered in 50 pounds of body hair. And I inherited that body hair. I didn't inherit his black hair. I would have liked to have black hair. Anyway, so a ton of body hair. And I remember one of my aunts from my mom's side of the family got on to me. She's like, girls wax their mustaches. They do not shave them off. Bitch, I will do what I want. If it works, it works. Okay, so, what's new with me? Still can't find a stable job. That sucks. Having to fill out a bunch of paperwork for government stuff sucks. My breasts still kind of look like I've stapled like ham to them. So trying to wear anything low cut is sucks. I'm 32, so aging in general sucks. I used to be all cute and breedable. Now I'm irritable and fertile against my own will. I was hoping that by now my Patreon would have raised enough money to donate to the Texas Burn Survivor Society. But I only have like the four current Patreons: Luke, Selly, Jesse. I have four and I can't remember the four. Or do I only have the three? This is going to require extra research. Excuse me. I'm a terrible freaking person. Selly was the first. Luke is one of my oldest friends. And, I guess this button. Yes, I know Luke. Thank you. Okay, I've got free people, but, yeah, who are the paid people? Okay. Okay, it's still just Luke, Selly, and Jesse then. And then all of the free people. I've got three paid and three for free. You only get a shout out if you're a paid person. So thank you, Sally, for being the first. Thank you, Luke, for being one of my closest friends. Thank you, Jesse, for being super cool. Back to camera. Back to camera. I thought I had a fourth. Maybe they were like, whoosh. Maybe they popped up and then disappeared. Anyways, I do have a Patreon where. Go away. Okay, I do have a Patreon where there are other gameplay videos that I do, videos that wouldn't really be accepted on YouTube because there's a lot of H games. If you don't know what H games are, then you're probably not old enough to watch those videos. H games, I'm currently doing a scary game for October called The Letter that I'll probably be doing more later tonight. I'm hoping that I can raise enough money by next year to donate $300 or at least $150 to the Texas Burn Survivor Society. I feel bad I wasn't able to raise enough and save enough. It's kind of hard to save money at the moment because our house that was completely burnt down was rebuilt, but we're still having to buy like furniture and necessities. I still have to pay for my medication and a bunch of freaking scammers keep trying to get me to pay for more hospital bills when I know I've cleared most of my hospital bills. I also have to buy food and green tea. Look, when all you drink is green tea and classic Dr. Pepper cane sugar, your daily living expenses get expensive. I shouldn't do that because I end up spitting on my laptop when I do that. I tried to set up a Twitch, so I have a Twitch. And I guess when I'm on it, maybe I'll, tell people on Twitter, maybe. I don't know. Every time I try to use Twitch, I get the weird echoey effect, and I haven't been able to fix that. Also, like, the only person who's ever talked to me on Twitch has been Luke. So, yay, I am recovering. Let's see if I can. You can probably kind of see that my face is almost two colors. You've got the really light and then still red. My face didn't suffer third degree burns, it was second degree burns, but it's still really red in some places. I got kind of a scar, almost like a Zuko esque scar right here. My neck has these weird marks because when they were fixing my face, they had to like staple it in place. I was full of so many staples. I was like 50% staples when I was in a coma. That's what they do to staple skin onto burnt areas. They just staple it on there like school project. But my neck is still severely messed up. I get kind of embarrassed about that, so I'm excited for colder weather so I can hopefully wear like a turtleneck to cover it. Still got my trach scar, which also you can't see because of the lighting and my skin color being so freaking pale. I can feel it. I hate the fact I can still feel the indentation of the trach. When they actually removed the trach, it was just a hole, and whenever I talked, it would flap like a second mouth. It was really disgusting. I also had a feeding tube up my nose. That was not fun. I had a catheter, and they didn't remove that for the longest time, even though I asked them because I wanted to use the bathroom like a normal person instead of pissing myself. Yeah, hospital sucked. House burning down sucked. I lost so many limited edition Dragon Quest stuff. The kind of stuff you get when you like pre-order the game. I had the Dragon Quest IX original poster. I had the Dragon Quest IX shirt. GameStop gave out free Dragon Quest slime shirts. It was a beautiful blue with a little slime outline, and then the back of the shirt said Dragon Quest IX. And I had that shirt for years, since 2009, when Dragon Quest IX came to America. Do you remember the commercials with Seth Green? Those are like my favorite things of all time. Seth Green should be in a Dragon Quest game. Why haven't they put him in a Dragon Quest game yet? Anyway, I had that. When Dragon Quest VI came out, they gave away little slime plushies. And I was so cute and adorable that when I went to GameStop to pick up my pre-order of Dragon Quest VI, the guy gave me 2 slimes instead of 1. I lost them. And people can hear me being loud, and they're being louder in return. And I had a big, giant King Slime plushie. I had a giant King Slime plushie I named King Bubba that I bought at the Texas. There's a anime convention in Dallas, Texas that I would occasionally go to just to look for Dragon Quest stuff. And occasionally I would find like a cosplayer, take a picture of them. I only ever found cosplayers of 8. Sadly, never found a Jessica or a Angelo or a Yangus. It was always 8. I don't know if maybe that costume just sold really well or something. I would go looking for Dragon Quest stuff, and one of the first ones I found was King Bubba. He was originally $70, but I haggled and got him down to $50. And I found some Japanese copies of like Dragon Quest VI on the Super Famicom, Dragon Quest V on the Super Famicom. I had the entire Dragon Quest VII manga collection, which was only 14 books because the creator stopped at 14, probably because he looked at the entirety of Dragon Quest VII and said, no, I am incapable of putting like 80 hours of gameplay into a manga. But I had those, which were really cool and fun because I was using like a little phone translator to read it. Maribel is like super adorable in that, and they try to ship her with Kiefer too. And the manga also claims Kiefer, the one who looks like Owen Wilson. Remember back on Twitter when I would constantly joke that he was Owen Wilson? Anyway, the manga claimed that Kiefer was a descendant of Erdrick, which may or may not be canon in the games. Dragon Quest XI has like Kiefer meeting with the Prince of Cannock, so maybe that's a shout out. I don't know. But I had The Dragon Quest VII, 14 books of that manga I got in an anime convention. I had King Bubba, I had a couple of games, I had all four of the Dragon Quest VIII original Play Arts figures. I had the hero from 5. I had the hero from 3. I didn't have 6. I always wanted 6, but I could never find them. I had a bunch of Dragon Quest stuff. I had a really big she slime, the orange slimes, that was almost as big as King Bubba. I used to like to put hats on her. I had a slime hat. My parents made fun of me because whenever I wore it, they called me retarded, which is mean because I actually am sort of retarded, which means I'm allowed to say the word and you're not, unless you are also retarded. Comment below. Anyway, I had a slime hat. I don't know if went on Amazon like right after I got out of the hospital to try to find replacements, and Amazon just doesn't have as good a Dragon Quest selection as they used to. Sucks. Dragon Quest stuff got more expensive, and Genshin Impact stuff got super cheaper. Got a Genshin Impact wall scroll. It's right there. It's the lesbians from Liyue, and then kind of behind me you can sort of see like a Dragon Quest 6 art piece. It's very as the same price, big sign big same price, big size difference in it. I did manage to find a very sketchy website that sold Dragon Quest blankets and pillowcases. I had to steal my mom's card in order to buy it because I was afraid of scammers. She did get scammed. She freaking deserved it though because she originally burned the house down. So I got the Dragon Quest III pillowcase and a big cover blanket to celebrate the coming Dragon Quest III in November. I pre-ordered it for $5. Hopefully by November I will have the remaining $55 to pay for it. Okay. Anyways, so so much has happened in the past year. It's been so bizarre. Going through a lot of depression. For a long time, and I still get it sometimes, I get like survivor giddiness. Like, I was at the mall the other day buying just shirts because I surprisingly lost all of my shirts in the fire. So I was just buying cheap shirts. Box Lunch I was looking at their clearance section. Their card is like free, so I signed up for their card and I already got like, if you come again, you'll get 25% off your next purchase. I really wanted to buy this King of the Hill shirt, but it was only available in baby shirts. Not fair. I am a 32-year-old woman. I want to wear a King of the Hill shirt. Were they baby shirts or were they like those slutty shirts girls wear where they show their stomach? I mean, slutty girl, and I'm like, got my tits out. Anyway, my burnt tits. Anyway, I like Bach Lunch. I don't like Hot Topic as much as I do anymore. So I was buying shirts at the mall. And I was walking past the Lotion Boys. The Lotion Boys usually hang out in kiosks and stores with the lotion, and they try to approach women and put lotion on them. They're always like really attractive men. They typically try to have like an accent and a backstory because they know American women tend to fall for that more easily. One of them approached me, and I was just like, no. I'm burnt. You can't apply anything like that to my skin. And he was just like, oh, that's what happened to your arm? And I was like, yeah, this is what it looks like after a year of third-degree burns. And he was like, oh, I think it looks kind of cool. And I was just like, yeah, it is pretty cool. He's like, it's almost like a really rad tattoo. I'm like, was way more painful than getting a normal tattoo. I can tell you that for certain. I have always wanted to get a tattoo of like a Dragon Ball, of like a slime eating a Dragon Ball. That'd be cute. I don't know where I don't know where I get it. I guess this part of my arm is still my skin and still safe and clean. I don't have enough money for a tattoo though. Those are expensive. Ugh. After my brother died, he was horribly murdered. Yeah, I lived through a fire and my brother was horribly murdered. I just could fill out a whole bingo sheet of life trauma I've been through. Anyway, after he died, my mom got like his birth date, I think, on her skin. Mom is Tammy. I'm not a big fan of her, so I sometimes just refer to her as Tammy instead of mom. She got a tattoo of his like birth date and his signature because he would sign stuff in like this really cool stylistic way. He was kind of an artist, and it was kind of looked like a satanic symbol, but you know, let the stupid Mormon get the satanic symbol tattooed to her. So she got that tattoo, and that was like $70, and that wasn't even colored. That was just like black ink, like way too freaking expensive. So if I wanted a colored tattoo, it'd be probably even more than $70. Unless anyone wants to give me a free tattoo. So, yeah. I'm 32, single, jobless. I get $600 a month from the government to help pay for my schizophrenic medication. So, life's just grand. I'm living the American dream. Can barely afford to be alive, which is why I have to live with my parents, with my mom, Tammy, the one responsible for the fire. But, you know, she's doing better. She's not a hardcore alcoholic anymore. All it took was me nearly dying for her to stop drinking. What an inspiration. Just rounds of applause at her AA meetings. I actually went to a Texas Burn Survivor Society meeting and I met other people who had survived fires. Unfortunately, Tammy tagged along with me. I didn't know the hospital location, so I had to get her help to find it. Well, I can't remember the hospital name. I just remember it's famous because it's where they took JFK after he got shot. Anyway, it was at that hospital, and I met like three other people. And one girl had survived a terrible incident. Her boyfriend doused her in gasoline and lit her on fire. And upon meeting her, my first thought was, please, dear Joseph Smith, God, or whatever Mormon shit my mom believes in, whatever deity is actually true, please tell me this man is burning in the fires of hell. But no, he was arrested and is apparently still in prison for that crime, so that's good. I've never met anyone and been like, I just met you and this is crazy, but I want to kill the man who hurt you. But I think she was like a year younger or older than me, and she's really successful. She actually runs a company like selling RVs. I might have to get her business information if the house burns down again. Just move into an RV. She had been through a terrible incident, and I met a man with no arms. He was in an electrical incident. He was working on power lines, grabbed them, and whoosh, his arms went up, and he lost both of them. And I really thought that prosthetics had like advanced in a couple of years. Like I know it'll probably be a while before we're like full Metal Alchemist automail that can just be used like a regular arm. But like he was just going armless. I figured you could at least use I figured prosthetics you could at least use it to maybe like type. It made me happy that my only complaints for loss of my hand is just it's a little fucked up sometimes. That's it. And then I met a woman who's probably the most tragic story. Her father tried to kill her entire family, and she got horribly burnt trying to drag her mom out of the fire, but her mom unfortunately passed away, and the firefighters literally had to drag her away from her mom. She was very inspirational, very made me. It was a very tearful meeting for me. And I felt weird because I couldn't exactly tell my story with Tammy sitting right beside me. But we basically just described it as a house fire. And yeah, I would have liked to continue like going to the meetings, but it's just a really annoying and dangerous drive. I hate Dallas. I hate driving around Dallas. The suburbs, I'm great. I hate Dallas itself. Okay. But so yeah, life has been weird. I still get a lot of pain because I was burnt at my elbow joint, as you can see. And you can't see my knees because they're the ugliest part of me. Both of them were burnt, so whenever I stand for a very long period of time, they get itchy and irritated. I could get like a surgery to help improve that, but the surgery costs like $300. And I talked to one of the burn survivors, and she said she had to get the surgery like 7 times. 7 times 3 is like 21, so that'd be like $2,100, wouldn't it? That'd be a lot of money. Why can't they just do the surgery in one go? So I would like to get surgery to help ease the weirdness of my knees, but I don't know. Maybe it'll wear off in a couple of years. The oldest, I think, the one who'd been burned the longest, I think, was the woman who survived her father trying to murder everyone. And you could still see the burns. She was probably, well, the dude who lost his arms probably was the worst burnt of them all, but she was probably second. Because you could still really tell, like, her arms and a little bit of her neck and face. And that, I think her incident happened like 7 or 8 years ago. So, unfortunately, the scars do stay with you for quite a while. Like, when I got fresh out of the hospital, I figured that by now it would look mostly normal, but I've still got like the weird, I just still, you can still tell my left arm is fucked up. And my face, if you could see me in reality instead of my crappy camera. But I've been really thankful for my friends. Once again, absolutely love you, Luke, and Sally and Jesse up on my Patreon. Love my friends Ray the White and Ray the Black. You guys can figure out which one you are. Both of you are named Ray. I had to come up with a way to tell you apart. I've gotten a lot of cool stuff from people. Over here. Going over here. Over here. Come here, boys. There we go. I ran over my socks. Okay. Somebody sent me the Dragon Quest V hero and the Dragon Quest 3 dude. So really happy for that. Who I follow him on Twitter. I can't remember his real name. I haven't been on Twitter in a while. It just hasn't been as fun since Elon Musk kind of ruined it. Where are you? Yeah. And someone also sent me this. It's Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. Not the new 3. It is the old 3. They put like the newest. I don't know. This is gonna be confusing. Dragon Quest 3 is already on the Nintendo Switch, but it's like the iOS updated version. along with Dragon Quest 1 and 2. So it's kind of weird that they're remastering games that you can already buy on the Switch. But the remastered version is obviously going to have like voice acting and better graphics. Somebody sent me this, which I was really happy for. But at the same time, I already had all three of these already digitally on my Switch. But I didn't realize it actually came in a physical copy. So I was like really cool and excited to see this. So I'm very happy to have it because I did have all of the Dragon Quest games physical copies. And right now, I think I've got Dark Prince, I've got the game with Eric and Mia, and I've got both Dragon Quest Builders. Those are my only physical copies. Um, Dragon Quest Treasures, there's Builders. There's Dark Prince, and somebody sent me the Wii game Dragon Quest Swords. I would love to have a Wii again, but I'd have to find like a used game store that sold one. I wouldn't really try. Like the last two things I've tried to order online did not ship properly. But yeah, my friends sent me stuff, so I was very grateful for them when I got out of the hospital to come home and receive packages. Oh, oh, I feel bad because like I don't remember his real name, but I can kind of remember his Twitter handle. But then again, Twitter handles change. And I feel like a terrible person. But he like left the package and then ran off. He didn't stay and say hello or anything. I kind of wish he would have said hi. I think his name is Billy, or that's one of the names he uses online. I thought it would have been nice if he'd like said if he'd wanted to come in and talk, because I was like super lonely when I got out of the hospital. Um, but Ray, one of the Rays, set up a GoFundMe for me, which I was really grateful for, and I would love to thank everyone who donated to that. But I was bullied by my family to pretty much take it down. So I started the Patreon as a way to kind of still help me pay for stuff. And also, I would like to donate to the Texas Burn Survivor Society when I'm able to. I just don't know when that will be, unfortunately. So yeah, I'll link my Patreon in the description. Sorry for this long, rambling video. I just had to get it done today because my voice has been going in and out. I get hoarse really bad, and also my allergies are going to come around and probably kill my vocal cords. But hopefully, maybe tonight I can do some videos of the letter, and that'll be nice and fun and spooky. So you can check out my Patreon. I've got Necopara 3 videos. I've got some other H games, one of them called Slimy Sextet, which was really weird. I've got Magical Girl Celestophonia, which is an RPG that's also an H game. And I've got more videos of me discussing my burns and what it was like and everything. So check out my Patreon. I'll still make a few videos on my YouTube. I haven't been able to do any PS4 videos in a while because it's been kind of weird lately. Every time I try to run like a disc, it always kicks me out. One of the Rays gave me a very old PS4, and it's definitely starting to show its age a little bit. Right now, I just kind of call it the Netflix machine. Uh, definitely, definitely never gonna have enough money to save for a PS5. I think the PS4 issue might just be. Mm, I don't know. Can I take it to a store and get like replacement parts. I've never had to open up a console before to fix it. My Switch works great, which is good because that's what I'm getting Dragon Quest 3 on. Maybe I'll get it on Steam once again if I have enough money, because then I'll be able to play and talk when I do it, which would be great. But once again, I may or may not have enough money. Ooh. Yeah, they're not making a PS4 release for Dragon Quest 3 Remastered. It's coming out on the Xbox and Steam, though. So it's like every console but PS4. PS4 is dead and dying. Sad. Sad. Maybe I can find like a used PS5 for cheap. By the time I buy a PS5, a PS6 will be in existence. Okay. So, oh, ta-ta for now. Check me out on Patreon. You can send me a message, and I usually reply as long as it's not creepy or scammy. So I'm doing better, holding on. Still have bad days, but just still surviving. It's what I am, a survivor. So happy October, everyone, and ta-ta for now.